Tracking this morning is from United States. A furious Donald Trump has announced that he would be signing an executive order imposing a 10% global tariff. Donald Trump's statement comes within hours of the U.S. Supreme Court striking down the reciprocal tariff and deeming them illegal. He has said, and I quote, "Today I will be signing an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122 over and above our normal tariff already being charged. And we're also initiating several sections of 301 and other investigations to protect our country from the unfair trading practices." And that is a statement that is coming from U.S. President Donald Trump. Listen in to what he said.
In order to protect, and it says so, in order to protect our country, a president can actually charge more tariffs than I was charging in the past period of a year under the various tariff authorities. So we can use other of the statutes, other of the tariff authorities, which have also been confirmed and are fully allowed. Therefore, effective immediately, all national security tariffs under Section 232 and existing Section 301 tariffs, they're existing, they're there, remain in place, fully in place, and in full force and effect. Today, I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122 over and above our normal tariffs already being charged. And we're also initiating several Section 301 and other investigations to protect our country from unfair trading practices of other countries and companies. Thank you for your attention to this matter, and I say quite simply, which I've said for a long time, make America great again. And interestingly, we've already made it great, so I don't have to use that, but I don't think we'll ever give up on MAGA. MAGA is always going to be with us.
For more on this, let me go across to my colleague Shrinjoy, who's been tracking all the details. Good morning, Shrinjoy. There's a lot to unpack. Supreme Court has struck down the reciprocal tariff, but a few hours later, Donald Trump has said that he will be imposing 10% more tariff globally. What does it mean? What will be the implications for India?
Well, first of all, the fact that the U.S. Supreme Court has done what it has is a clear effort to derail what appears to be the most important facet of U.S. trade and foreign policy, the tariffs. Now, President Trump has called the decision by 6 members of the U.S. Supreme Court who've voted for the fact that the tariffs should be removed disappointing. So he's disappointed with 6 of the 9 members of the U.S. Supreme Court. Simply that. Now, as far as India is concerned, it's still a little unclear. There is a trade agreement between India and the United States that looks at 18%. Now, the question is, both sides will have to say that, well, the India-US trade pact stands the way it was. If it does, then there is another question that has to come up. Is this 10% tariff coming above the 18%? That's the other thing that has to be clarified. India will hope that the trade pact will remain as it is, and this tariff of 10% will not apply. But we will have to see what both governments say on this issue, because this is very important. The additional 10% tariff on every country in the world is a new step by the U.S. president. Now, once again, there could be legal hurdles to it. You don't know what the U.S. Supreme Court will do after this. They've already struck down one tariff that President Trump had imposed. Now, what will they do on this? Besides the issue regarding that 18% tariff, the free trade agreement, the additional 10% tariff, whether it will apply to India, etc., all of these things will need additional clarity.
Absolutely. And now let's look at this from the India perspective. Sion,